Brian, you want to start? You want to start us off?
Nah,
Me?
yeah.
All right. It's been a while. Been a couple months. I feel like we call it season 2 right now.
Season 2.
It's a little different. We got our first basketball athlete here today. But in case this is your first episode watching, this is what we call D1 Bound Podcast. I'm Patrick Odedina.
Co-host Brian Ford.
And to my right, we have a professional athlete, basketball player right now, someone who I knew quite a long time. I remember him from way before he remembers me, like a long time ago. I was probably 15, 16. He might have been 12 years old at the time at a little basketball camp we went to. But someone who, from right around here, Westchester County, started off at Mount Vernon High School, then made his way, got the D1 scholarship, did his thing at West Virginia for a couple of years. After that, decided he wanted to transfer, make moves, go to University of Massachusetts. And now he's been, going through the circuits overseas in Europe. Started off, I believe you started in Poland, is that right?
No.
You started in Hungary?
No. In Kosovo.
Started in Kosovo. Started in Kosovo. Then we took it to Hungary.
Yeah.
Now, just finished in Poland. We got Jabarie Hinds. Welcome to the show, my brother. Oh, see?
We all happy to be here.
Yeah, first time doing an interview. So, yeah, we're glad to have you on here. I'm not sure you ever took a look at any episodes we did in the past?
No, I have.
Okay. So we appreciate you coming. You happen to be the first person who's a basketball athlete, but we really appreciate you coming. And really, what we like to do is go through first-hand experiences of student athletes. Obviously, you, someone who even made it up to the professional level, still playing at this time. But like we said, it's really a unique experience that people have depending on which school they go to, where they came from. So that's really what we want to go into. It's not even going to be so much about the professional years that you're going through right now. Could you start us off, just tell us a little bit kind of your journey and a resume, if you may?
Yeah. I started playing when I was about probably like 5 years old, playing in my backyard.
Talk up.
Yeah. Well, I started playing basketball when I was about 5. I just always had a feel for the game of basketball since I was young. Not just like working out stuff. Like when I was home, I always wanted to shoot and stuff like that. My mom used to tell me. And then I got a basketball court in my backyard. Like 5th, 6th grade. After that, it was over. I was outside all the time after school, trying to do my homework. So I go outside and just hoop. All my friends that I grew up with, they used to come through, used to get the lit game in cities, all that. It was just a fun thing. And then it was that time when I just went to play on a team.
Like what age was that?
This is about 6th grade, so I want to say like
11 or
11,
something?
12. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, so I played with my elementary school. I went to Holmes Elementary School, and I played on the team, and I was doing good. I was just a little bit advanced than everybody else. I was just fast and just doing what I was doing.
Lefty.
Yeah.
Right.
Just going straight to the cup.
Different.
I wasn't shooting that much
Right.
at that time because in the backyard I was just trying to go to the cup.
Right.
Yeah, and then from there I think that's when it just took off. I started playing with the Boys and Girls Club after that. That's like a AAU type of thing.
Summertime, traveling, okay.
They had a winners league too though.
Okay.
But we ain't travel as much. Just more local. Yeah, I played that and I was killing. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, I was doing my thing. And then it was a team called the Junior Knights. I'm not sure if you heard of that.
No, we heard of that.
Yeah.
We heard of that. Mount Vernon.
Cosimino came to the gym one time. It was me and Cleed, and he told us that he wanted to take us in and want us to play and stuff like that. And after, when that happened,
he was coaching the Junior Knights?
No.
Oh, okay,
he just, he's a head man, so he looking at the young guys.
So just to clarify, he's the head coach at Mount Vernon High School.
Yes.
For the boys, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he saw us, and then he just said he wanted us to come start lifting at the high school. It's a program they do. I played with the Boys and Girls Club one year, and we played against the Junior Knights in a tournament at Iona Prep. Real intense game. I was playing against Cleed. he was on the other team, so that was my boy. That was still like my best friend. But I'm on a different team. He on a different team. We young, so we just trying to win.
Who cooked who? Be honest.
They got the win, but
they got the win.
they got the win. Yeah, I was cooking that.
All right.
Yeah,
I
remember
I'm
that.
asking about that.
After
too.
that, the year after that, that's when Coach Sabino came to both of us and he told us that he wanted us to join the program, start lifting weights, and coming into workouts at the high school.
So what? At this point, you in what? 7th grade, 8th grade?
I'm in 7th grade. Junior
7th
nights,
grade.
I played junior night 7th grade.
Got you. So he wants you to come start lifting at the high school.
High school that summer, that following summer, just getting used to how they do things there.
Now, would you say is that common to happen within Mount Vernon? Because I know Mount Vernon is not that big, right? So Mount Vernon High School, that's the only one public high school. Is that right? Or is there another?
Yeah, you can say so. They got another one, but that's the main public high school.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I guess because you in 7th, 8th grade now.
7th. I'm 7th.
You in 7th.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know of other people maybe before you that were also going and joining at that age? Because it sounds
I had no idea. I had a sister that played varsity for the high school, but I wasn't around that much to see how things was ran and stuff like that.
Okay.
But yeah, I didn't know like that's what they do.
Right.
But it worked out in the long run.
That's right.
So
That's right.
I made a good decision.
Okay. So obviously you got a coach who's a coach of a pretty prominent high school here in the area, seeing you and pulling you, saying, you know what, I want to see you more in the gym, doing your thing, and getting used to how we do it at Mount Vernon High School, right? I guess at this point, do you realize that you above your peers, like above your age bracket, that you really good? Or when did you, in your mind, realize like, all right, I'm really good, I could do something with this, I could, go and be good in high school, I might be thinking about college? When did that come to your mind?
I say my first year, that 7th grade year, I played junior nights. The year before that, I played with the Boys and Girls Club team. It was good talent, stuff like that, but I felt like the junior nights, everything was more professionalized and stuff like that, and I was still playing my game and playing at a high level. And then after that, that's when I felt that I should start taking it serious.
Okay.
Because in that span, too, I was playing football.
Mm.
Waddy over there,
Oh, yeah.
I used to,
Razorbacks?
yeah, they was older than us. We used to watch them play Razorbacks.
Right.
So it got to a point when I had to just choose. I couldn't play both, keep doing that. It's too busy, trying to focus on school.
So you was more nice in basketball. So you went basketball.
Yeah, I had hands, though. in
Okay.
football. I had
Okay.
hands,
You was a
yeah.
receiver or something?
Yeah, I was a
Oh,
receiver.
okay,
Not my
okay.
first year, though. I was a lineman.
Got you.
So-
Okay.
I was a lineman my first year.
So at that point, you kind of transitioned from it just being about all fun, you playing in the backyard, you playing at the Boys and Girls Club, to now, to your point, saying there's a little bit more structure. Do you remember what those first couple practices, first couple weeks were like, where you realized, like, I'm not always going to be the best anymore. This always isn't about fun. There's going to be days where I'm going to hate playing. Do you remember what those first couple weeks were like?
I definitely did. I remember the first time I lifted weights. I went home. I went to sleep. I woke up the next morning. I couldn't hardly move.
You was
Mind you, I'm
breathing
trying to
different,
learn the technique and all that.
walking different.
Right.
Next morning I was hurt. So I remember that. I was like, this is real. Like,
Right.
players that's there already, this is what they've been doing. So I had to like really adjust to that. But I like the weight room now because it really works. I could like feel it in my game when I'm playing and stuff like that. So I take that serious. And then the playing end, I felt like growing up and playing at the high school, I always held my own. It was great competition, don't get me wrong, but I always did what I had to do, and I listened, and I just always went hard at what I did. 8th grade, I played JV for a half a year. And I remember, I forgot who we played the last game. Coach Gary, that was my coach at the time. He called me over and told me I'm getting moved up to varsity. Mind you, I'm still in middle school.
So hold on. I think at this time I was a senior at the time in high school, and I went to Lincoln in Yonkers, right? And I remember them telling us that Mount Vernon had an 8th grader on varsity, which to me didn't make no sense, because I'm like, if he in 8th grade, he don't even go to that school, because the school was like 9th to 12th. Am I right? So I'm like, that doesn't make sense. But apparently they was talking about you, right? So it was hilarious to me that like, how are they getting the eighth grader to play in their school? But it happened to be you, and you ended up being elite, and it worked out the way that it did.
Yeah, it was a different transition though. Going to school, I went to middle school on the other side of town anyway. Where I live, I was right near the high school. So I'm going to school. After school, I got hurt and hop on the cheese bus, and it brings you by my crib, and I got to walk the rest of the way to the high school, get to study hall, eat something, and then we go to practice. So I had to get used to that. And then after that, ninth grade year, I was on varsity.
Wait, can we step back to the eighth grade year, I guess? Because you had the experience of being on a varsity team, which is kids that are 1, 2, 3, 4 years older than you. Were you actually playing during that year? Were you getting in games? Or like how was the practice? You practicing against the kids? What was that experience like being on a varsity team, being, a lot younger than everybody else?
Yeah, being that young on varsity, I definitely off the first practice, I seen how faster the game was from the JV level. So I had to pick up on that and trying to learn the plays and stuff like that at the same time. But I felt like it was great for me because I had players that was older than me who was leading. He was talking to me, just hipping me on certain stuff. And I listened. I wasn't the type that just blow people away because I'm nice, I'm young. I was always listening and, just trying to do stuff in my way. And it worked out too. But it was a great experience. I remember that time. It was crazy. Like I said, though, just going to school, have to get back to the other side of town, going to the high school, seeing all these other kids. But it was fun, though.
How did that affect your day-to-day in the middle school? Because to Pat's point, like, you leaving. Like, you in class all day with your friends, and then you got stuff to do that nobody else is doing. They going home to play their video games, get their homework done. And you got to go study hall and practice.
Yeah, it was different. And I had friends that was actually I was on JV with, but it was different. Just the fact that I had to do that, and like people asking me questions and stuff like that, like my friends and stuff, like how I do that. But it was good. It was good.
Okay, so I guess now, because you transition, I know we just kind of jumped from 8th grade to 9th grade, but you're going from junior high school to high school, right? So I guess you already knew that's where you were going to go to high school?
Yeah. Once that happened, I knew I was going to the high school. I knew that regardless, though. Yeah, high school, that's where I was going to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 9th grade, you in there now, did your playing time increase? Or, how did that experience change going from 8th to 9th grade?
Okay, yeah, 8th grade to 9th grade. 8th grade, I ain't play as much. It was more of a getting the feel of this level, the highest level of high school. Just getting more comfortable and just working hard, and that's what I did. I ain't getting the game that much. I get in the game if we blowing the team out for the last minute or so, but I wasn't tripping or nothing. Practice was really intense, and I was playing more. It was like my games at that time was in practice. That's when I was getting better at. So 9th grade came around. I played a little bit more, getting a little bit comfortable. And then 10th and up, I guess, speaks for itself.
Got you. So, I mean, we could go through all of the 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade experiences, but I guess at that point, right, somewhere in there you start elevating your game. You obviously standing out amongst, the county, and you even won a Mr. Basketball in New York senior year, right? Two times.
Yeah, junior and senior.
My bad, junior year, senior year. You won a state championship as well? Just one?
State championships I got.
Right. I feel like I know y'all got banners all over Mount Vernon High School. You got two.
I got two.
Okay.
I got two.
So like I said, the most important or the most interesting part that we want to talk about really was your journey where you got into college and you started hearing from the colleges, right? Because obviously you said 10th grade, 11th grade, you already really good. When did you start getting that attention? Because I'm sure within all of that, you're playing AAU, you're going to these summer camps, you're probably getting invited all types of places to play on these teams. When did you start getting that attention and, people started trying to pull you and say, hey, where you going to school?
I say my 9th grade year, going to 10th. That's
9th grade year.
Yeah, going to 10th. I started getting letters and stuff, coming to school every week. Then I played AAU that year. that summer. I
Where
played
were you?
with Westchester
Westchester
Hawks.
Hawks. Okay.
Yeah, that's what
Like
I played with my whole.
what they call a select team or elite team?
Yeah,
It was
Westchester
one.
Hawks.
It's a top team. Though.
Yeah, the top team.
Okay,
I don't
okay.
remember. Yeah.
I think select team.
So we didn't really play like in all the Nike circuits, like Peace Jam and all that stuff. But we played in, good tournaments where like I'll speak to college coaches on a Monday, speak to one on Wednesday, on Thursday, and on Friday, I fly out to wherever I play a game, and I'm seeing those coaches at my game. It's kind of that thing.
Okay.
And got to a point when offers started coming in.
What year was that? Was that sophomore, junior year?
10th grade. Yeah, I had an offer in 10th grade.
Which to me is it's also kind of unique, right? Because you're not a huge guy. You're what, 5'11", 6 feet?
Yeah, 5'11".
Right? So usually when you hear about the people that's getting these offers in 9th grade, 10th grade, it's because they're already 6'7", 6'8", and you could tell this guy is going to be a physical presence. So for you, it wasn't. People don't just look at you. It really had to do with your actual game.
Yeah.
Right? So I guess what part of it, what were the coaches really attracted to? Was it just you getting points, you getting assists, or, was there something specific to your game that was really attracting the coaches?
I felt my energy, just playing defense. Like, I play defense now, but when I was like that age we talking about, I was just hype. Always want to get a steal. I had a reaching problem. I had a reaching problem one time because I feel like I just steal the ball. I get in foul trouble, but most of the time, like, I'll just steal the ball and go get a layup. It's just my energy.
Okay.
And I feel like I could do everything. My shooting wasn't that good at that time. I ain't gonna lie, but like getting to the cup, making the right pass, I feel like I was doing that at a really young age, and I think that's what attracted the coaches.
Gotcha.
But it definitely got to a time when, had people pull me aside like, yo, you got to start pulling up, hitting the jump shot, open three. So I had to get in the gym and just shoot.
Got to work on your
Yeah,
right,
work-
too.
yeah.
Most people always say
my
you got to
right-
work on your left, but your left was your left.
but my
already.
right. I got a nice right hand, I could say, but I just had to start working on my shot, and after a while, I just got comfortable with it. It's not where I want to be right now, but it's improving. So I just keep to this day. That's why I just work on my shot, and I do other stuff too. But
And you got to think at that point, because of the exposure you'd had to the varsity level, probably a big part of the conversation you were having with coaches about basketball IQ. Because to your point, you're playing in that structured environment. You're getting taught things about basketball. Casual 7th, 8th grader isn't learning. Different ways to cut, different ways to see the floor. Especially as a point guard, what role do you think mentorship played? Not only from coaches, but from other players? Because we're talking about Mount Vernon High School. Like, we're talking about Van Gordon, Mike Coburn. Like, what role did mentorship play in your upbringing through the program?
it was funny. Before actually, like 9th grade, I was really like a 2, not because of my height, just the other guard was a little shorter than me. He couldn't play 2, so I was really.
You remember who that was?
Nah, yeah, I played with Clee.
Oh, it was Clee?
I played
Okay,
Clee
okay.
AU. It was different.
Gotcha,
It was
gotcha,
different other guards too. I'm just saying, but
Yeah.
I played Clee in AU. He was the starting point guard. I was the 2.
Got it.
So at that time, I was kind of had like a scoring mentality. I knew how to pass. That just wasn't something I wanted to do. I'll
Yeah,
make
it
the
was-
obvious pass. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I always wanted to score. When I got to high school, when I was 8th grade, when I got on varsity, Mike Coburn was the
I remember Mike
point guard at
Coburn.
the time.
Yeah, I remember Mike Coburn. He was
No,
scoring
he's a great-
everything
yeah,
off the glass.
Yeah, he's a great
I
leader.
remember him.
For sure. He's a great leader, and like I learned so much from him. He was telling me like, you got to start seeing the game at a different point of view. So, like the higher the level, the better the play is, and you're going to be a point guard. So I listened to that, and I just like, focused more on my point guard skills, and just kept the scoring there, but just working on passes and certain different reads, and I think that really helped me. And I had other guards too that I came up with in the program that I definitely learned different stuff from. For sure.
It's kind of crazy you keep referring to Mount Vernon as a program, because that really sounds more of like you talking about a college, right? But even me, obviously I grew up more than half of my life in Westchester. Everybody kind of view Mount Vernon as like the elite basketball program, right? That's the only place that you went, but do you know, I guess comparing it to maybe the other schools that your friends went to, what were some of the differences there than, maybe compared to whatever, a Yonkers school or White Plains or New Rochelle? What were, some of the differences between, Mount Vernon and there?
Yeah, Mount Vernon, like it was love. we was Nike elite team, so we had all the
Jerseys,
Nike gear, jerseys,
sneakers,
fire, and stuff like
everything.
that. And just the way how the program was brought up, before we got there, we have study hall at a certain time. There was other thing. We had like a reading program. We have some certain ladies come in and read with us, just to, just make sure we doing what we have to do. We have tutors, whatever subject you doing bad in or struggling in. So I just felt like I seen that I was like elite. Like I talked to some of my other teammates, like on the professional level. We talk about high school and college. Their high school experience was different. They just go just to play basketball.
Right.
Like I really liked high school besides basketball too, I could say.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So how were your grades through high school? So my let me put this in perspective, right? Because again, I'm gonna say I went to Lincoln, and my JV coach was Lamont Watkins, who, right? So, and I want to say he went to Mount Vernon. I think his son went to Mount Vernon, and so he was always talking to us about Mount Vernon. They don't do this.
Yeah.
This is why they good. This is that. So he said, like, in Mount Vernon, if you fail a class, you're not on the team. You can't have tattoos. You can't, like, it was like a strict program.
Yeah.
Would you say that's accurate?
No, yeah. Like if you trying out, if you want to play for the team, you got a tattoo. Like you want to try out, you might as well not even try out. Because he's not gonna take. You feel me? He sees it as he's advertised you to college coach and stuff like that. He want a clean image on your end, so that was out, and yeah, you can't fail a class. Like
That's
I said,
crazy.
yeah, but my grades overall, it was solid. It wasn't the best.
Right.
Like honestly, I hate school, but I just knew I had to pass to play basketball.
Right.
Just keep it as a stat.
That's
yeah.
fine. That's
So
fine.
I just did it just to stay on the court and stuff like that. But my last year in college, I committed to West Virginia. I missed my first summer. When you commit, you graduate high school and then you chill for like 2 weeks and go to college. Yeah, I stayed. I couldn't go because I wasn't eligible yet. My grades is all right, but I had to get a certain SAT score and I could not get it.
Got it.
So I had to go to summer school and take 2 classes, and then I would have been good. So I actually got to West Virginia like the second day of school, like regular school. So I missed the whole summer session.
We're gonna get back to
Yeah, a lot of
the
people didn't know
college.
that.
We
Yeah.
skipped.
We
Nah,
getting there.
that's fine. I was there too. I missed the whole year and a half in college because of my grades. It was crazy, right? But we wanted to step back before we got into like you being actually at West Virginia. So you say you started getting some letters. You were getting attention 9th grade. You getting letters 10th grade, 11th grade. When did you First of all, did you have like a school that you wanted to go to? Like, did you have this school in your mind? You grew up your whole life. Your parent, I don't know if your father went to one of these schools or something like that. Did you have one of those schools?
Honestly, I did not. Like at that time, I gotten that question so much, but I never had like a dream school. Like I watch, college basketball and stuff like that, but I never said, "Oh, I want to go here." I
In
was just-
a conference? Nothing. I
Yeah,
know for me,
conference,
I love Big East.
Yeah, I played in the Big East.
I
so,
always loved the Big
conference-
East before any other conference.
Yeah, the conferences. Yeah, Big East was lit, and I'm happy I got a chance to play in that.
Okay.
I'll say Big East if you say conference for sure.
Got it. So what were the actual visits that you went on? How were those? Do you remember any kind of experiences that stood out? Were you going to West Virginia or any of the other schools that you visited? Anything that they did to try to, entice you to come to these schools?
Yeah, I visited West Virginia, of course. That was the school I committed to, but I'll get back to that. I visited UConn. UConn was a great visit. I'll say that.
Calhoun?
Huh?
Calhoun
Yeah.
brought you over there?
Yeah, Jim Calhoun was at the crib too. He came for a home visit. I had
You
him
did
there.
all of that and you still ain't go? That's
Honestly,
crazy.
like my dad, he always told me, like when I graduated college and stuff, he's like, "You were supposed to go to UConn." That's how I was supposed to go, but
Yo, bro, you were supposed to go to UConn. I'll tell you right now.
I'm on the visit at UConn. Kemba Walker is my host, so he's just like telling me all about the school. And at the time, he telling me like, "Yo," he's just speaking to me. I'm in his crib just chilling. He's like, "Yo, honestly, I might just eat this year. Like, tired of this. My family got to eat. I'm trying to get right." And that's the year he went crazy.
Right. So
No,
that was
no,
his
the
senior
following
year?
year. The following year.
Oh,
the following
okay,
year he did
okay.
that. He had a decent year in the following year. He did that when I was a freshman.
So you was in his crib up at UConn?
Huh, yeah.
It was crazy. They got him a mansion. I know they set him up lovely, right?
He had a nice apartment.
Nice
though.
apartment?
Yeah, nice
That's
apartment.
nice.
Yeah, he was good.
All right.
Situated.
Yeah, I visited Oklahoma State. That was one of the
Okay.
schools coming up. That was really on me. Their facility was probably the best I've seen yet.
I
It
saw
just
their
got built.
facility
Crazy.
on ESPN or YouTube maybe 5 years ago.
I was
So it's
there,
probably
I'm
by that
like-
time. And I was like, why did Oklahoma State get all of this money for the basketball team? Because you don't even think of them as
Football
like a
school.
basketball school, right? But they had hot tubs,
Everything.
lockers with the iPods in it, everything,
Kitchen,
right?
all that,
Crazy.
yeah. And I visited the football stadium, all that, like football team. They good out there. I visited UNLV. Like my first time in Vegas, I was dumb, young.
Now
So
we went to Vegas too for AU tournament. We was all like
15.
17. We couldn't get into any.
Nah, I
anything.
didn't even try.
We
Like,
literally
I went,
like
we
we
walked
walked
to
the
visit.
strip
I
up
didn't even
and
go.
back. We just
Yeah,
walked
I
up
didn't
and
even go on
down.
the strip.
Yeah, food. That was
Just had
literally
me a
it,
little,
yeah.
campus parties and stuff like that. But
Okay.
that was cool. And then I went to West Virginia the following weekend after I was supposed to go to UCLA, but I committed.
Before you even went to UCLA.
Yeah, I committed to West Virginia, and that was that.
I guess then, if you just decided you're going to go to West Virginia, what was it there? Was it the situation? Was it the coach? Was it the university itself? Or they threw you the right bread on the side? Tell us
Nah,
truth.
I ain't getting no bread on the side, but when I went out there, it was just like they the only pro team in West Virginia, so like it was just a different type of vibe. And at the time, the star there was Kevin Jones. He's from Mount Vernon.
Mount Vernon.
I played with him at high school as well. He was just showing me around. He was just like, yo, there's love. Just pull up. And they didn't have a guard either for that following year, so I was seeing I could get in there, try and fight
your
for a spot,
time,
get some
right,
time, yeah.
right.
So me and one other guard committed there, and that was that. But party wise and stuff, like
I heard West
yo,
Virginia
yeah,
is
my
the
freshman
party
year-
school
freshman
too.
year was the number one party school.
Sheesh.
Crazy.
Okay, so
Yeah.
from all of these schools that you visited, that's that you're involved with, they're all offering you like full on scholarships.
Yeah, full rides. I ain't
Full rides.
paid nothing since I've been in
$0.
college. Ain't
That's
paid
good.
nothing, yeah.
Okay. So West Virginia, you made the decision to go there, and Bob Huggins is the coach.
Yeah.
Right. So he's, I would say, like legendary college coach, right? What were your conversations with him like? Did you go to his house? He come to your house, or how did he make his pitch to you?
With that, it was another assistant that really recruited me. But
Okay.
I during the process, I did talk to Coach Huggs. But he did come for a home visit in Mount Vernon too as well, talk to the fam and stuff like that. But when I went on the visit, and before that, he would just talk about what he wanted from me and how he sees my game could translate into this program. And it was real good conversations and stuff like that. And I had a decent freshman year. Started, and I played a lot, and I learned. It was a real tough year going from high school to high level basketball.
Right.
Everybody is good, stuff like that. But it was a real good experience.
Did you often feel? My fault. Go ahead.
Just touching on Coach Huggs, do you remember the point, and I think this happens a lot across any level of basketball or sports in general at the collegiate level, where you realize that the coach pitching you to get you into the school is over, and now they're your coach?
Yeah,
Do you remember what that was like with Coach Huggs?
yeah, I do.
Because there's definitely a point where it's like, all right, now I got you for 4 years, now you're going to follow my lead.
Yeah, see,
What was that transition
Yeah,
like?
my transition was different. Like I said, I wasn't there for my first summer of
Right.
college, so I was at home just working out. Wow, I got 7 other freshmen. Yeah, it was a big freshman class, 6 other freshmen.
Yeah.
They're training, working out, getting used to things. So when I got there, they just telling me everything. So I'm like, yeah, I'm here now, so I'm gonna see. And I remember our first workout was just intense. It was nothing like them phone calls.
Right.
Like, it was just like he's coaching.
Right.
So it's like, damn.
When I see him on TV, a lot of times he's yelling, and he's, he always wears the zip up windbreaker. He's not a suit guy.
Yeah.
He's I'm here. I'm almost on the court myself,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Was he was always intense like that in practice? Was he like in your face kind of thing, or
No,
did
he
have a
wasn't
different
always
vibe?
in your face, but he'll never let you bullshit. Like
Got you.
he always wanted the best for you, so he was on you, whatever you did wrong. And I respect him for that. He's a real good coach and a real good person at the end of the day. But yeah, like I said, it is what it is.
Right.
If there's one thing I know that I've heard about Coach Huggins for sure is that he brings a treadmill out during practice.
That's correct.
So he bring the treadmill to the court?
Nah, like the way the gym is, we got the court.
Uh-huh.
And you walk off the court to the baseline, you take about 5 steps, treadmill.
Treadmill.
Loaded, yeah, waiting.
And it was always running.
Always running. Strength coach right there, like looking at the time. Yeah.
Damn.
Make a mistake, like a turnover. You playing
Treadmill.
5-on-5, playing hard, like hard. He want people to bleed, like, yeah. Make a mistake, you gotta run over there, get on the treadmill. How fast was it going?
8, 9.
That gym was moving.
10?
It was moving.
It's like once you get to 10, that's like a
Moving. I didn't
fake
see.
sprint.
I didn't see teammates' feet buckle. Like, yo, no lie. And then right after that, you right back.
Right on the court.
right.
If you can't get in the water real quick, you right back on the court. Yeah, so that treadmill thing is real. I've been on it a couple times, so I know.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I guess just talking about college, not even the basketball aspect of it. What do you remember specifically from West Virginia? You say the parties were crazy. First year was, the top party school. You got any memories of things maybe you got in trouble for out there, like staying out late, you missed a curfew, or you was late to practice? One of those kind of situations that ended up affecting your basketball situation?
Yeah, I remember I was late for weights one time. We used to live real early, so I was late. It's like when you late there, I ain't going in there trying to finesse, and I'm just take my punishment.
Right.
And the punishment, you go on the football field, 5 a.m. with a tire, just flip, and then when till he say stop.
Right.
So yeah, I try not to, slip up and make mistakes like that, because that punishment
Hectic.
is real. Yeah.
Got you.
Now, at the high school level, right away, I think it was pretty evident to you that like you were at the level you were playing at, you were competing against dudes that were looking for Division I scholarships. Then you get to West Virginia, you're playing in the Big East, and now you realize everybody's trying to get paid. Now, you as a freshman, as a starter, what was that like on the court? Because, you matched up against seniors that's every day, them getting ripped by a freshman could cause their stock in a draft to drop. Do you feel like people tried to pick on you because you were a senior? Because you were a freshman at the time, getting run? Do you remember what those conversations were like on the court?
Definitely. It was definitely some players that always tried to, say little stuff to get in your head and stuff like that. And it was always like experienced players, like probably like juniors and seniors, stuff like that. But I ain't really, get into that. I just try to stay focused, just try to do what I do. But yeah, I played against some tough people.
There's one matchup you can remember from your freshman year that got you.
Freshman year that got me. I ain't gonna lie, we was in Vegas. We played against Baylor. I always remember this. And they had Isaiah Austin, Pierre Jackson, a couple other people. Pierre Jackson was the sixth man.
Yep.
So I'm starting that game. I'm on the point guard. I'm, first couple possessions, you touch him out, see what's up. Everything good. And then Pierre Jackson come to the game. It's like they whole strategy just crazy. Just up and down. He was just hard to guard. He just moved so much, getting ball screens. And I'm still learning. I'm still a freshman, so I'm still learning at this level. And it was just like, that was a tough cover, for sure.
Okay, so now we going from, your freshman year, you kind of learning the game, the college game, and you going into your 10th grade year. Did you...
College, right?
Yeah, college. Yeah, we in college now. Did anything change going from freshman to sophomore year? Like whether it was your playing time, because obviously we know you ended up transferring from West Virginia after that sophomore year. But do you remember that summer going from freshman to sophomore? Did y'all have like new players come join the team that maybe affected your playing time? Now you got another guard that's coming behind you, kind of thing. What was that like?
Yeah, we definitely had a whole new set of players coming in. I wouldn't say it affected me, but the other players was good, so it was like basically trying to see who fits the best. And my sophomore season, we had a real bad season record-wise.
Right.
It was losing, so it just got to a time where coach was just trying to find 5 players that can work, and it just wasn't working out for me. And probably midway through conference play, I realized that, but I was going to stick it out, just try and play. And my numbers and stuff went down. I just had a bad year, so I felt that after the season, I just wanted to try something new to finish out my last 2 years of eligibility. So that's when I decided to transfer.
Now, did you think it was something that couldn't be resolved at West Virginia when you say, like, maybe your numbers dropped and just you weren't getting on the court as much kind of thing? You don't think, like, your third year would have been even worse? You know what I mean? Is that, like, why you left? Or, like, what was it? Because obviously it's a big move to go from one school to another. So was there something that stuck to you that was like, I need to make this move? Or was it more of a curiosity of, let me see what will happen if I go to this other place?
It was both. I'm not gonna lie. Like, before I came out to the public and said I was transferring, I was just thinking, just waking up, thinking on it, doing something else, work out, just thinking about it. Like, it's a very good school. West Virginia's a very good school. So I'm like, do I really want to do this and have to sit out a year wherever I go and then come back and play? But I just felt like, making that change was the best move. Like, and it wasn't how I wanted it to be when I transferred to UMass, but I had a solid college career, and I think I finished out okay. So
Sure.
I can't complain about the move I made.
Right.
You asked me today.
With the transferring process, how did you go into that mentally? Was it, all right, let me go and look back at the schools that were looking at me before I committed to West Virginia. Let me reassess just based on where I think I fit into. Because, still at this point, you're thinking about draft stock. You're thinking about how you match up against your peers that are in your class. What was going through your head? Because, like this point, you said you wanted to play in the Big East.
Yeah.
You got there. Was it now like no longer about proving that you were good enough? It was just about finding the right fit?
No, that's the thing. Like, I did good, but at that time I wasn't good enough.
Right.
Keep it 100. I wasn't good enough. I had a solid freshman year. That's why I had hype coming into my sophomore year.
Yep.
And those stuff didn't happen. So that's why I felt like, all right, I'm not gonna try and stick around and work it out.
Yep.
That's why I just decided to leave. And going on with the colleges. It was different colleges hit me up. Yeah, right. When I decided to transfer.
And
it wasn't that many schools, honestly, because I had a down year.
So was UMass just the favorite from jump, or did it come down to a couple schools?
No, it was actually 2 schools in the same conference, UMass and St. Joseph.
Okay. And what was it about UMass?
I went on visits to both. I just felt the vibe more, and I like how they played at UMass.
And when you got to UMass, Chaz was there, right?
Yeah.
Shout out Chaz. How was that? Like getting there and realizing that you were going to a school that had another guard that was in a similar position as you.
Buzzing. That year I got in, his name was Buzzing, so it was like it's a challenge.
Right.
Like, I'm not playing. I can't play with him that following year, but practice and stuff.
Right.
I just always wanted to challenge him. To this day, that's my bro. Like, we talk and stuff like that. We always went at it though. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
And to your point, like you not being able to play that year, did that give you the opportunity to really lock in and say, like, all right, this is another chance for me to get in the gym, to focus on the things that I wasn't satisfied with? And I'm sure at this point, like, social media is becoming a thing. We grew up in an era where being able to follow players on the internet was how you kept in touch with folks. Like, you going online, we looking at the rankings every week, they updating. Like, did that ever get to you? Like, did you ever find yourself like reading some of the articles about why you transferred? Any of the, because there's a bunch of people that are gonna post on these forums that behind a screen name. Did you ever struggle with letting that get to you?
Nah, I never struggled like with letting that get to me, but I read
Right.
what they were saying at that time. Twitter's
Right.
still Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter was big at that time,
Right.
so it came out on there. So my mentions going crazy.
Yeah.
Got some crazy Facebook messages, but I didn't trip about it. I knew the decision I made. I knew it was gonna come.
Right.
Yeah, it didn't really matter to me.
Did it ever feel like you, did it ever feel like you were doing something wrong when you were making your choice to transfer? You know what I mean? Did you ever feel like regret, like, you know what I mean? Like did you have to go and be like, all right, you know, like, coach, I gotta talk to you. Like, you know, how did this actually come about?
I didn't feel that way, honestly. You talking about like when I'm transferring? I had to talk to the coach or
Yeah, when you transfer, right? When you make the decision, it's obviously in your head
Oh, I
first
gotta go
before the
talk.
coach knows.
Yeah.
Like, you know, do you like? Is it after the season? You like, you know, Coach Huggins, like, you know, can we talk, kind of thing? Like, how did that play out?
no, that's exactly how it was. When I had my mom made, before it goes public, I gotta go.
Mhm.
Go to the coach and talk to him. So I was just thinking on like, dang, I'm really about to do this, but yeah, I just like went in his office hours and talked to him and told him. Just gave him my release. Once I got my release, that's when it go public.
Did he try to talk you out of it? Did he try to tell you, you know, maybe you should stay, or did he say like, yeah, you know, we got some guys coming in, it's kind of like your decision? Did he like give you a feeling either way, whether you wanted to stay or go?
Yeah, it wasn't really a long convo.
Mhm.
Just told him what I wanted, what it was. And only said a couple of things, but it wasn't nothing like he wanted me to stay. Just give me a release. Like finish out the year, and then went to UMass that summer.
Okay. So obviously, as a rule, in Division One, you go from one school to another, you got to sit out a year. So you know this obviously when you're making the decision. How was that? Was it just like, oh well, I got to sit out a year, I'm gonna practice, or was it like, damn, what am I gonna do for this whole year?
I seen it as, you know, since I had coming off a bad year, I wanted to take that year. So I couldn't travel with the team.
Oh, you couldn't travel when you redshirt, you can't travel with the
Nah,
team?
the only games you go to is the home games.
Oh, okay,
If I go to a road game, I gotta like drive there. I can't
Got
go
it.
to bus.
Got it.
Yeah, so I just was trying to get my mind back right, working out, being more comfortable with my game. So when I was able to play that following year, I wanted to be ready. But that's what I did. I still had fun and stuff, but I made sure I got my extra work in besides, you know, team practices and stuff like that.
Now, question: are you on scholarship this whole time? Like while you redshirting and not playing, are they still, you know, giving you a scholarship that year?
Yeah, I'm on the same scholarship the whole time at UMass. So
Got it.
wasn't that different.
Got it. Now, how did that actually come about? I think I spoke to somebody else about this when you transfer from one school to another. You probably already have schools in your mind or schools that you talking to, kind of thing, that had interest in you, right? While you're still going to West Virginia, because they're not technically, other schools not supposed to be talking to you while you're going to one school, right? So how did you even come about this decision to, you know, go to UMass, or was it like after the season was already over?
No, yeah, it happened after the season. You know, I put it out that I was transferring, so now I gotta
Oh,
wait.
okay. So
Gotta
you
wait
put
for
it.
feedback,
Okay,
yeah.
you didn't know.
No,
Got it.
yeah.
Got it. Okay.
UMass hit me up there. It was
Interesting.
on my line like every day, and then the head coach flew out to West B. We had lunch at Buffalo Wild Wings, and we just talking with stuff
For a
like that.
while, man.
Yeah, that shit was fire.
You was drinking in there too?
Nah.
you
Try
sure?
to keep it clean up.
He was lying.
New coach.
He was lying. So I guess between West Virginia and UMass, who was the coach at UMass at the time?
Derek Kellogg.
Derek
Yeah,
Kellogg.
he's at LIU now.
Oh, okay. Between Derek Kellogg and Bob Huggins, who was giving you more bread on the side?
I wasn't getting no bread on the side.
Damn, you're not giving
I
me
wish.
nothing. Nah,
I
okay.
wish.
But obviously, so you went through 2 periods where you were being recruited, being pursued by these different schools, right? Do you recall any situations where you felt like, damn, somebody's kind of being shaky, I shouldn't be doing this, you know, they're being crazy, like, because you hear boosters and all types of people trying to get you to come to these schools. Did you have any of those experiences where people would, tell you things, and maybe your mom had to jump in and be like, no, like, don't do this, like, I don't feel comfortable with that, anything like that?
I didn't have that experience, but I did have like boosters around me on visits, just talking to me about the school, what they do and stuff like that. So basically kind of thing, they didn't want to say too much, but
Right.
yeah,
Like,
go out to eat and stuff like that. But yeah,
I hope
shit,
you
yeah, basically.
listen,
Yeah,
UMass,
yeah, chilling.
what city is UMass in Massachusetts?
Amherst.
Amherst?
Yeah.
Is it lit out there?
Nah, UMass is lit. It's a big
Yeah.
school. Yeah, like
Oh,
400 of it, I didn't even know.
How far is that from Boston? I don't know, so don't laugh if it's not
Like an
close.
hour and 30
Oh, it's not
minutes.
close. So yeah, I don't really go out to Boston.
Nah, I was in Boston.
Oh, you in Boston?
I wasn't there. Wasn't there a lot, but I definitely
Do
felt
anything
it.
in Boston? Okay, did you damage? I hear that. So cool. So you had to sit out the year, so you practicing, you
Yeah.
still competing, but you're not going to the going on the trips. How was the experience? Just going to class. Obviously, it's a different school, a different area of the country. Were you enjoying that? Was there any times where maybe you were feeling any kind of regret? You know what I mean? Like, damn, did I make this the right decision? Or how did that feel that whole year?
Nah, that year was smooth. Like, the coaching staff, everybody was chill. Like I said, the school,
Mm-hmm.
the type of style of play they play, they let you play a game. So I was kind of hyped to just, go to practice and work on my game because I know I wasn't playing in that game and stuff like that. But I didn't really have no regrets, honestly. Before I transferred, I thought about all that stuff. I didn't,
Right.
yeah. So my mind was made up. Like it is what it is. I gotta deal with it from here, type
Got
of
it.
thing.
And tapping into your mental a little bit, you talked about how your last year at West Virginia wasn't the best year for you. You, as a competitor, obviously wanted to improve, and I'm sure it was a tough decision to have to make to go in and kind of say like, listen, it didn't work out the way that I thought. In order for me to get myself in a better situation, I got to make a move. Dealing with that on your mental alone could be a lot. Did transferring and being closer to home have any influence on your decision?
It was good to be home so my family can come to my games
Right.
when I was actually eligible to play. But I wasn't even going home like that.
Right.
Like on weekends and stuff, I would just stay at school. School was fun, so it was not like I was bored or anything.
Right.
Yeah, like Mel and them, they came up there, chilled, got the UMass vibe, stuff like that. So
Mel,
it was
I
fun.
know Mel had the biddies up there, huh? Yeah, some biddies up there. Okay.
They thought Mel went to school there.
Right. That was me at Southern. Everybody thought I went to Southern. I was up there so much. That's it.
Chilling. Yeah.
Right.
Both schools was great schools though, like on the court and off the court. So.
Did you feel any difference between West Virginia and UMass, and I guess the way maybe just the student body treated you? Like, I don't know, in either school, were you kind of like popular guy? Everybody, like, oh, that's the basketball, that's the point guard kind of thing. Did you get any of that treatment at either school?
Yeah, UMass a little bit, but West V a lot in West Virginia. Because I told y'all that like
That's the
basketball teams like the
yeah,
team, yeah.
yeah.
So it was love.
Okay.
Like I had spots I could go to and eat. They take care of everything, stuff like that. It was love.
You had the jersey spots, giving you the free jerseys, because that's how LeBron got in trouble when he was high school. He got some free jerseys.
But
Nah.
West Virginia was loved though. Like they some diehard fans out there.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. Cool. So I mean, obviously you matured now. You in your junior year in college, so you probably 19, 20 years old, and in your head you probably starting to think about what's going to come about this. You have a pretty good year. Your junior year, you start a bunch of games, right?
Yeah.
And I understand your senior year, you actually start. You also start a bunch of games, but you end up
Yeah,
the
faded
second,
away.
like kind of the second part of the year, you coming off the bench.
Yeah.
But you do win the conference sixth man of the year, right?
Yeah.
What led to that happening? You going from a starter role to a reserve role?
Like I said, the way how we play, the coach let us play. So we have players that want to play their game and do a lot. But I think that's what kind of it led to. And when I start to think a lot. It may show a little bit, so the coach felt like I wasn't comfortable. So he wanted to try something new, spark me off the bench, and that kind of worked for a little bit. He just stayed with it throughout the year, kind of thing.
Did you like that?
I don't know.
Did you not? Right. In my head, that's just how I always imagine it. But you even think about people like a Lou Williams, right,
Yeah.
in the NBA, or Jamal
Crawford.
Crawford,
That's what they
right?
know. Like, yeah.
You know what I mean? These are people who have pretty much been bench players, reserve players their whole career, but it almost feels like they're fine with that. They're like, it don't matter if I come off the bench, I'm going to come and I'm going to score 20, I'm going to score 25, whatever the case is,
Williams
right?
is scoring 50.
Right, score 50 in a game off the bench. But for you, like, you never really got a chance to get used to that role, because pretty much your whole life you've been a starter. Would you say?
Exactly. So when that happened, it was just something different I had to get used to.
Right.
And it was happened to be the last season of my college career. But I just try to, just play through that, like not really think about it, just play my game. Like, it worked out all right. I feel like we could have did much better, but it is what it is.
Got you. But as your college career is coming kind of towards an end, do you start thinking about professional? Do you have any kind of idea of what you're gonna do? Because obviously, there's people who are entering the draft. There's people who know they're gonna be a lottery pick. But do you have anything kind of set up? Do you have an agent that's like pending? Do you have plans to go to a summer league? What's your plans of, after college at that point?
After college, I just know I wanted to keep on playing basketball. So towards the end of my season, I had agents tapping in, trying to recruit me to sign with them so they can start getting my professional career going. So that was like picking a school again.
Right.
I'm in school, I got agents hit me Facebook, ask me for my number, da-da-da. So now I got to go with who I like the most. They telling me the same thing. So I pick an agent, and then like after college, it wasn't really nothing buzzing NBA-wise, I didn't do good enough.
Right.
So, we started looking overseas,
But before we got to the overseas part, right? Because they have all of these. They got the summer league.
Yeah.
They got different, I guess, pro-am leagues that are around. Did you dabble in any of those, or was like, nobody's really calling me, so I'm gonna just go find out whatever else, whatever I can make work?
That's exactly what it was. Like, I don't know if my agent was doing the right talking or whatever, but I didn't have none of that going on for me. So just at that point, start getting in the gym and just focus on professional career in Europe. And I remember when I got my first deal, I was happy. Just work. This is what I work for. And then after that, it's just been coming home, working out, and just signing new deals. So I'm happy for that. Just trying to stay healthy and keep that going.
Got you. So what was the first deal? Do you remember how that played out? Because obviously you got an agent. You're not calling these, countries in Europe and these different teams. You don't even know what none of the teams are, right? So how did that come about? Did your agent just present to you like, listen, this team is offering you this amount of money. They want you in this country to play point guard. What were those conversations like with your agent?
When I got that call with the team I signed through my first year, I just got done working out. I'm stretching after workout, just looking on the phone, and he calls me. Then he tells me about the team. I signed in Kosovo. They was the best team there.
Right.
It was like great opportunity. They played in a different league, FIBA Euro Cup. That's the league I played tone in.
Right.
In Russia.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was another great opportunity for me to showcase my game, so other good teams could see me. And we went with that. And I remember I just went home. I told my parents about it. They ain't know where it was. They ain't never heard of it.
Kosovo. What is that? Right.
So I got on Google, started doing some research, like on just the city alone. I got into the team researching and stuff like that, and that's the deal I went with. And now I was just home chilling, waiting to leave, not knowing what's about to happen.
Right.
And I think this kind of taps back into 7th, 8th grade, Jabarie, of like your whole basketball career, you've been put in these situations where you're transitioning to stuff on your own, where there's no one else that can really relate to what's going on in your situation at that time. Like, how did you kind of cope with that uncertainty? Because again, to your point, like Parents didn't know where it was. Like, you got a lot of different people in your ear, and especially from an agent's perspective, they're gonna tell you what you want to hear.
Exactly.
Who did you feel like you tapped into when you felt like you just needed an honest response? You felt you could be vulnerable with, like, say, like, yo, listen, like, I can't call it. Who do you feel like you tapped into for those conversations?
Chris Lowe, he played at the high school. He's a couple years older than me. You know, at that time when I first signed my first deal, he's probably like 5 years in overseas. So
Chris Lowe, did he go to UMass too?
yeah, he went to UMass. Yeah,
All
good
right.
point. Yeah, he went to UMass too. So I used to tap in with him, like we used to just link up, and he used to just I used to just ask him questions because I knew he went through that experience, and he should just tell me, tell me the real, not everything I wanted to hear.
Right.
You gotta really go over there and play, or like you go over there and bullshit, like you get sent home.
Right.
2 days later.
Right.
Just get somebody else. It's real. Like,
Right.
you gotta protect your job when you're out there. So I didn't take that part. I did take that part serious. I'm talking about I did take.
Right.
Make sure I was, on my grind. And I had a couple other people. Tone.
Yep.
Tone was over there before. I tapped in on Tone, asked him a couple questions, stuff like that, just picking everybody's brain. And I had some other people too as well. So but going there for the first time by myself, like leaving, that was crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
Have you ever been to Europe before that?
Yeah.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Mount Vernon.
Yeah.
was
Kosovo
going there.
took me
yeah.
half of the
I know,
world.
China.
I know they took out of China and all these places, but I didn't know they took out of Europe. I don't know
He
where.
took me to China. He took me to Paris,
Oh.
Hawaii twice, and all over the U.S.
Damn.
Yeah. Traveling part, that's what I wasn't really scared about because I've been
Right,
traveling when
right,
I was
right.
young. So
That's
I
great.
got used to that.
True. But what was that, the living in Kosovo experience, right? Because you playing there, what, 8 months, 9 months out the year?
Yeah.
Were you living in like a big city? Was it a little town? What was the situation like?
Nah, the city I was in was the best city in Kosovo and the best team. So that was
Was that the Pristina?
Pristina, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was the good thing. And I had my own apartment, 1 bedroom, living room, kitchen, laundry. It was chills.
How was the Kosovo joints though? It was shaky or
Nah, they was out there.
some valid joints?
Huh?
They was out
valid.
there.
Yeah, I was chilling.
Okay.
They was valid.
I like that. All right. So you not in a terrible situation, right? I can't wait till we have Tone on here, right? Because I actually visited Tone on the first team that he was on in Poland. It was in Jabarie, this little, basically
What's the name of the team?
PGE
Turo,
Turo Jabarie, middle of nowhere, Poland. I'm talking about it's like a little town. Like they had the gym, which the gym it was like not that tiny, but it wasn't new. It was like an old gym, right? And Tone's apartment was across the street from the gym. So that was his life. It was gym, apartment, grocery store, back.
I had the same experience. I'm
it. He
hungry.
said it was nothing else going
I'm
on.
hungry.
So I remember going and seeing that out there. So that's just how I imagine Kosovo, because I don't know anything about Kosovo. But you're saying it wasn't really like that. It was not that bad.
Kosovo was straight. No, it was straight. It was cold though in the winter. It was like New York.
Got it.
Wind wise and it was cold, but it was straight living wise for my first year. Didn't know what to expect. They don't send you pictures of the apartment and stuff.
Nah.
The price is just, we got this for you.
They give you a car?
Nah, I ain't have a car my first year.
Yo, Tone had a car out there. Tone had a car out there. It was a stick shift.
Yeah, see.
Mind you, I'm gonna tell you, it was a crazy story, right? So I was supposed to go visit Tone. I was in Poland already for one of my cousin's weddings because I'm from Poland, right? So I'm in one part of Poland. We had to go to Germany to rent a car because it's right on the border.
Yeah.
I go to the car rental spot. Only car they got is a stick.
Yeah, like
Bro, never drove a stick ever in my life. But I used to work at a car dealership, and at the car dealership, I whipped a stick shift like around the block one time. So in my head, I'm like, I could do this. I like whip the shit around the block, right? So I rent the car, pay for the car and everything. It was probably $100 or something to rent it for the day. I get in the car, I told my cousin, I'm good.
Yeah.
Pull off, right? Get in the car, get to the corner, shit shut off. Turn it back on, get to the corner, shit shut off. Because I don't know anything about moving the actual shift on the gear. So probably 10, 15 minutes pass by, and I'm like, fuck, I don't know what I'm doing. I call my cousin back. I'm like, I can't drive this shit. I can't do it. So he comes back. He teaches me how to drive the stick in 5 minutes, 7 minutes. So we going around the block now. I'm like, fuck it, I got it. Mind you, to go from Germany to where Tone is at in Poland, 4 hours.
Damn.
Dolo. I got a GPS. I got my cell phone. My cell phone don't work because I don't got the service out there. I just got a GPS. Punch this shit in GPS. Made it the whole way. Lit. Tone was like, yo, you late? I was like, bro, I had to learn how to drive stick. I had to learn how to drive stick before I came here, right?
I had my agents put that in my contract.
Crazy. So I had to learn how to drive stick. So listen, we go out there. Right. So we out there, we chilling, and then he's like, yeah, my car's stick. He know how to drive a stick. So we chilling out there. We go to dinner. We have some drinks. We go bowling, this and that. I get lit. Wake up the next day to go back to Poland. Bro, I can't even drive the car again, bro. I swear to God. I'm like, Tone, come outside. Tone got to teach me how to drive stick again. Mind you, the whole time I was going from Germany to Poland, I was driving on Autobahn. Y'all know what Autobahn is? It's the highway that got no speed limit.
Oh, okay.
I'm in the car I'm in is not even old. It's like a 2015. I don't even remember. It was like 2015 Ford Focus or something like that. But there's people on there. Everybody got an Audi, BMW going 115. I'm over there. I'm listening to music. I'm just trying to make it kind of thing. But I just want to share my Euro League experience kind of out there.
This year, my second year, I had a car. It's both automatics. So I ain't had no problems.
Oh, okay. So my bad. I digress. So you went from Kosovo, right? You had your year out there. What would you say? How would you grade, your performance out there?
I had a solid rookie year.
Okay.
Professionally, won the championship for the country, so that was good for the resume. And I got a nice deal the following year, so I feel like everything worked out.
Was your coach? Did your coach speak English first of all?
Yeah.
He spoke English. Yeah. Okay. Was he like easy to deal with? You felt like?
It's different there, It's like
it's business at this point too, so it's a lot different.
In Europe is like stay away or go sit down or go home. So I'll be there trying to find a way, to put my understanding with them and mix it up and play like that. Been working out. My coach has been letting me play and do what I do, so I can't complain. That's what it's all about in Europe. Just producing year by year, so you can go to a higher level.
Right. So next year you go to Hungary?
Nah, next year I'm not signed yet.
Oh,
I'm in the process right now.
Oh wait, no, the first year.
Oh, okay, yeah, Kosovo,
Kosovo,
Hungary, yeah, my fault.
Kosovo. So after Kosovo, you go to Hungary.
Yeah.
All right. So what was that summer like? Are you waiting to get signed, or like did again your agent just call you like, yo, we got this deal from Hungary, or how did that come about?
Yeah, that summer was smooth. After my first year, I got home like the last week of May, and I signed my deal to Hungary within 2 weeks since I've been home. So my main focus is just working out, just trying to get better because I knew where I was going. I knew when I was leaving, so I didn't have to worry about that part.
Got you. Was that an improvement, you think, that Hungary year over Kosovo? Or,
yeah, definitely.
Comparison?
Every year I've been playing, I've been moving up. And the Hungarian league is better than the Kosovo league, so it was definitely an improvement.
The Hungarian league, you played against any prominent players that we might know of, some people from America?
Yeah, I played against a couple people, and I don't know if you know them, but me growing up, I played against Sterling Gibbs. He was in Hungary.
Okay.
He's from Jersey. Who else I played against? I can't really remember. But this year, I played against some people as well.
So this year was your third year?
Yeah, I just finished my third year.
In Poland?
Yeah.
Okay. And again, just agent call you in the summertime. We got this deal on the table. Did you ever have a situation, I guess, since you've been a professional, where you got these two teams that want you and you weighing out the options? Or is it, they call you, say, all right, the money's good, the situation's good, let's go do it?
Yeah, that's what I had after my first year.
Oh, okay.
Before I signed to Hungary, it was a Hungarian team and what was the other team from? I want to say Poland. That's crazy
Oh,
for my
okay,
second
okay.
year, but the Hungarian team's offering more money, so I just went with that.
Right.
Yeah, but last year I signed late. I signed like the end of September.
Mm.
The market was, I don't know what was going on with the market, but the right numbers wasn't coming through, so I was just waiting. I ended up signing a deal. Poland been the best league I played in since I've been playing, so I feel like it was a great opportunity to go there and play and just do what I do, and that's what I did this year. I finished number one in scoring in the league.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I
so
saw
that's
the
like a
Instagram
big,
post. Yeah, yeah.
it's a big, jump for the resume and stuff like that.
That's right. We get the bag next year. You feel
That's what
me?
I'm trying to do.
I see you out in Dykeman right now
Huh?
too. I see you playing
yeah,
on
I popped
Dykeman.
out last week one time.
Nah, listen. I need to come to the games one of those
I'm
times.
not gonna play every game. I'll let
I
you
know
know.
you
when
don't
I
need
play
to
them.
play every game, but
I'll let you know
hear
the
me
games I
out.
play.
What days you be trying to play? You only playing the Saturday, Sunday games?
Nah, not really. We only
Nah,
play one game, so
You gotta listen. You gotta play. Listen, if they got a game on like
Oh, this is
Saturday,
work.
Sunday at like 12, 1 o'clock, not even because I work. You gotta hit one of those games, score 30, win the game, quick shower. Bro, we out to El Jefe. It be lit. I'm telling you, it's lit. Like,
got you.
you need to just pull up in there with the jersey on, no shower, no nothing. I'm
That's
telling
OD.
you, it's different because I'm telling everybody, yeah, he professional basketball player. Just whoop, whoop. Feel me? That's what I really need. Now we got R.J. Barrett on the Knicks. We gonna start seeing him in Dykeman too. We gonna
See,
get in a
you
lot
wanna
of
pull up
trouble.
the
You feel
Dykeman.
me?
Yeah, it's a good pickup though for the Knicks.
Tapping into the New York aspect though. I feel like we've talked to a couple other athletes and asked about growing up through the circuit, through AAU, through camps, school, and up until the professional level. One of the biggest questions that gets asked when you first meet other people is where you're from. Growing up, not only being a New York guy, but a New York guard, New York point guard, how do you think that affected the way in which you carried yourself, in a way in which you kind of had to defend who it was that you were bringing to the table? Because I feel like as New York guards, you're elevated to a different standard.
Yeah.
And I know we tapped into like you being exposed to that at such a young age. Do you think you kind of skipped over that being like a whole mystique and it just became you, like that stuff that you were used to?
Going on what you said, like that, I think that's what made me realize I was good enough to play.
Right.
At any type of level of basketball, playing against other guards, and they
Yep.
know my name, what
Yep.
schools offer me, looking at me.
Yep.
So I gotta go and protect that every time I go on the court.
Right.
I can't just go on the court and these niggas bust my ass.
Right.
Nah, like I'm at them, feel me, and that's when I realized like, I take it serious and I'm doing what I love and I'm playing hard,
Right.
trying to compete.
Is that a question that you felt like you were getting asked often, whether it be in the college level or once you got to the professional level?
Yeah, it's always at camps and stuff. Some places ask where I'm from and stuff.
And and obviously there comes like an elevated pressure that comes along with that. Tapping into West Virginia and you talk about these diehard fans. Do you remember the first moment, whether it be you're on the court, fans are going crazy, whether it be pep rallies before the Midnight Madness before the season started? Do you remember the moment that like you realized like, all right, I'm here, this is real?
Midnight Madness. Like when practice first started, it was like, dang.
At West Virginia?
Yeah, I'm talking about West Virginia right now. Yeah, practice. College basketball practice officially started. That's when I got the little.
Yep.
Like, dang, I'm really about to start my first college practice. 3 hours. Westview was 3 hours every day.
With that treadmill.
3 hours, son.
That's the difference between D3 and D1. My D3 practice is an hour and a half,
Practice.
hour 40.
3 hours. the
And
whole
I felt
year.
like I was dead after that. So 3 hours,
So
that's
they
why I
push
wasn't
you to your
D1.
limit.
Over.
But yeah, it's crazy.
So Midnight Madness was that moment for you?
Midnight Madness was that moment. Just having the crowd there.
Yep.
All the different extra stuff they doing to make the
Yep.
Midnight Madness a successful night.
They had a little dunk contest, a
Dunk
scrimmage kind of
contest,
thing.
yeah, scrimmage.
Mm.
Meet and greet the fans.
Cheerleaders
signature
is
shows,
out and all that.
All that, yeah. it's like I'm really here.
Drop that.
Great experience.
I mean, you still in the middle of your professional career, or at the start even.
Yeah, I'm about
You
to
know what I
start my
mean?
4th year.
At the
next
start of
year.
your 4th year. So hopefully, you got another 8 years, 10 years, however long you want to
Yeah.
keep this going. But at any point, did you ever feel like basketball was a job? Like obviously now it's your career. Did you ever get to the point where you felt like it was a job, like it's not really a fun thing to do anymore? You know what I mean? Or do you still feel like I really just want to go out there and play? I want to do my thing. Like what's your experience with the game right now?
With the game right now, like I'll be thinking about him, like, dang, I can't complain where I'm at. Like, I've been doing good since I've been a professional. So, like, I'm just trying to just keep on going. Just keep doing the things I'm doing and do more. Like, trying to get out of my comfort zone and just trying to work hard and just be the best I can be. So, as of right now, the game of basketball, everything's is good right now. Once I sign, it'll be perfect. So,
Yeah, no, I mean, it's obviously nothing. I imagine you don't take it for granted.
no,
You know what I mean?
Because
Like,
I done seen like teammates of mine come into the team on a Monday and be gone by Friday.
right.
Just stuff ain't work out. Pick the wrong player.
Hmm.
So I just see how fast stuff can move. Like just be home the next day, waiting to get another job. And
Right.
them getting another player is no problem because they offering them money.
That's right. That's
You gotta
right.
really take it serious. Some people might think overseas just you can't make it to the league overseas and kill, but it's
Yeah,
different.
everybody thinks that's
Like,
what the thing is.
that's
Like,
what I'm
if you don't
saying.
make it to the NBA,
It's a
you
nice
go
little
overseas,
fallback,
Yeah,
yeah.
right?
people don't be
That's
going.
not like that,
Nah.
right? It's not like that. Like, first of all, put it like this: I'm 6'6", right? Everybody be like, you play basketball? Yeah. Why you ain't go to the league? I'm like, you know what? I don't know. I should have went to the league. You're right. Like, oh, you could have at least played overseas. I'm like, it's not like that, right?
Nah, it's real.
So, nah, I'm really happy for you that you at where you are, at this point in your career. Obviously, wish you the best going into next year, going forward. You had a great year right now, being the top scorer in your league. So, we hoping that turns into more money,
Appreciate that,
more
yeah.
deals.
Sure.
You got some things going on outside of that. But why don't you tell us, outside of you playing basketball, you back now? Are you staying in Mount Vernon, or what's your situation?
Yeah,
like?
yeah. Right now I'm in Mount Vernon with the fam.
Mm-hmm.
Just training. Really.
Got you.
Yeah, wake up, train. I train 2 times a day right now.
Okay.
Get a lift in.
With Sean.
Yeah, I lift with Sean.
Train
in the
with Sean
morning.
Harris on IG.
Yeah, and then
My man.
I go to my high school later on the afternoon and get my basketball workout in. So that's just what I'm focused on right now. Just keep in contact with my agent. He just keep me updated with what's going on in the market in Europe, and I'm just going from there. That's all I got going on right now.
And being close to home, like we kind of touched on your relationship with some of the older guys that came before you. How has that been now on the other side of it? When you got younger cats that are at the high school, you that guy now, you back and like, oh, that's Jabarie. Like, do you think because of the relations that you had with the older guys coming up, that kind of shaped the kind of alumnus you wanted to be?
Yeah, I feel like with me, I was cool with everybody. Like, I was nice and stuff. I wasn't the person to be acting funny because I know I'm better than everybody. I was always cool with everybody, well respected. I respected everybody. So when I come back, it's kind of a thing. Like, they're happy, I'm coming back, teaching them things. I'm hooping. I play open gym with the high school kids, some former players, my teammates. So it was like a family. I'm always at the high school, just training. While I'm training, or just, looking at the younger kids practice. It just makes you realize I'm getting old, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Fact. What you now, 25?
Nah, 27.
27? Oh, okay. Shit, I'm 29. I always thought I was like way older than you. Shit, okay.
And I guess looking back, obviously it's a different time. Obviously social media plays a huge part in exposure, ultimately recruiting. You talked about agents reaching out over Facebook. Like, we know there's scouts and recruiters doing the same thing in these kids' DMs. If you could look back and just speak to the class of the kids that are up and coming in terms of like staying focused and making sure they keep that work ethic, what do you think you would say to them that would be different than the advice that you got coming up?
I honestly got good advice coming up. I'm not gonna lie. Of course, it was a lot of people in my ear telling me, but I
Yeah.
knew the ones to were just listening,
Right.
keep it moving, and the ones
Right.
to listen to. So I'll just tell the kids to stay in school, pass your class, and just keep working hard.
Right.
That's what I did.
Mm.
I told you I hated school, but I knew.
You had to do
You
it.
feel me?
That was me in college, honestly.
Like I wasn't trying to
felt
go
like I
the
had to do
JUCO
it.
route or none of that.
Right.
I knew
Right.
I can pass my classes and go to college for free. Why not do
Mm.
it to help my family and me? Like so, that's what I did.
True.
And just work hard. Like,
Because especially now, like you see these top recruits, they post on their Instagram page. It's just going to be the highlights. You're not really seeing a lot of the work that goes into it.
not seeing nothing. It's just.
How
that's
do you
just what
think, even
happens.
today, like you said, you still to this day you're working out twice a day. Like, what do you think's been crucial to keeping that work ethic instilled in you?
Seeing the success, honestly, just not only me leading the league and scoring, just my game.
Yep.
Just watching my tape and like I do film on my tape. I'll just throw the tape on, just watch what I could do better and stuff like that. Even though it's all the makes and stuff, just seeing that, and that's just come from the work. Like that's what I was taught, and that's what I'm gonna try and just keep on doing until I'm done playing.
Not true. I mean, outside of basketball, obviously you got a life. You a whole grown man at this point. What you got going on outside of basketball? Any organizations that you like in? Anything that's taking your time up when you're not on the court? Anything going on you want to share?
No, right now I'm not. I don't really have a lot going on like outside of basketball. I'm just trying to chill right now, focus on what I'm assigned at.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like in the future though, I do want to get some stuff going. I'm thinking about. I don't really want to talk about it now until I get into place.
Yeah.
But I'm just chilling right now. Yeah, I just be chilling. I ain't
Absolutely.
really doing that.
Cool. You're still young enough where you
Yeah,
could be
yeah.
doing that.
Yeah, I'm
So
chilling.
that's awesome. But one, I wanted to let you know we really appreciate you coming on, sharing
you
your
already
experience
know.
with us. You know what I mean? It means a lot.
I seen it like when I was in Poland. I watched that. I was like, it's dope. I like the setup and stuff
Oh.
like that. Yeah.
Thank you. So
for sure.
we still got to thank you for that because you didn't have to do this. You know what I
no,
mean?
it's
So I appreciate it. I'm really happy to see where you at right now. Like I said, I remember you from back in. I told you before it was teachers hoops
that's a
camp,
fact.
right? I think it
I
was
like
up
that
in.
camp though. That camp was cool.
I like that camp. Honestly, I only went to a couple camps when I was younger because I only started playing basketball. I was like 12, 13. So I was late to the game, but we was on the same team, which is crazy. I only realized it
I'm
later.
quiet.
Right.
We was dead on the same
Yeah.
team. I was in high school. He was
Yeah, I was
fucking
younger.
8th grade or something like that. And he was the best dude on the team. You know what I mean? But
Best
to see-
camp I've been to. My bad, not to cut you off. Was LeBron camp. I just wanna
LeBron
let you know.
camp. Oh, you got to throw that in
I
there,
got an
right?
invite in.
LeBron
I got
was in
invite
there?
How he was there. I seen
Right.
the day he committed to go to Miami. I'll never forget that. He came to watch a couple games, and then he took a little PJ to Connecticut and made the announcement.
That's hard.
Yeah, that was tough.
That's hard. That's hard. Yeah, I was just saying, it's really, really cool to see you. I know the roots. I know you from Mount Vernon, not a huge place, not somewhere with a ton of resources. Getting the way you are right now, being able to be a professional basketball player is something that you love to do.
Definitely.
Provide for yourself, for your family, and be on a positive level. So definitely want to salute you for that.
Appreciate that.
Hope you, wish you the best going forward, however long your career takes you. You know what I mean? Tomorrow is never promised for us, right? So, hoping it takes you as long as it's supposed to, and, you continue to do whatever your mind takes you to do.
Appreciate that.
But I know, basketball is definitely not going to be the end of your life.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So definitely want to thank you for this. Brian, got anything to add?
I think you did it. You said everything we needed to, man. We appreciate you. We're proud of you.
Any questions?
Yeah. Oh, we got the panel. Any question on the panel? We'd love to take a guest question.
That's a good question.
Oh, great question from the crowd.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I've been to NCAA tournament one time. That was my freshman year at West Virginia. We got smoked by Gonzaga.
Gonzaga. Who was the killer on the team that year? Do you
Gary
remember?
Bell and Pangos. And had like a big. He was sacred. Remember he got drafted by the Lakers.
Yes. Yes. Damn.
That was probably the last game Sacre killed.
That was my last NCAA tournament too.
Wait, so the NCAA tournament, did y'all go through like the selection Sunday, or like how did y'all get in?
Yes,
Selection
we got
Sunday.
through that. Yes.
So
we
y'all
didn't win the Big 12
The Big
tournament.
12,
No. We was in the Big East.
Yes.
That was my freshman year. We was in the Big
Okay.
East. So we just had like a team dinner. The fans came along. We watched it on the big screen. So I
that was
seen
hype,
it like that.
probably.
Yeah, that was tough.
Oh, okay.
And we played in Pittsburgh, which is an hour away from.
Oh, that was where the first round was that year.
Yeah, like we just got put in
very
Pittsburgh.
close.
So
Got you.
yeah, it was.
Got you.
Dang, we'll see.
I feel like
Yeah, something
Gonzaga
like that.
always get a 1 seed, but you
Yeah,
never
Gonzaga-
watch no
Gonzaga
Gonzaga
was
games
beastie.
during the year, right? Nobody ever watched a Gonzaga game
It's a
ever.
good program, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Right?
It's a good
I mean,
program.
even when the tournament comes on, their games come on at midnight.
Facts.
They play, yeah.
Big East tournament was more lit than
Yeah, the NCAA tournament, I only played one game. You know, we got smoked, so it wasn't really that fun. But like going before the game, that's
Guard.
at UMass. Oh shit, my bad. Nah, yeah, no, A10 is at the Barclays.
Yeah, I'm gonna answer that question. I never played in either, but the Big East tournament was lit in the Garden. You remember the games? I think it was Syracuse and
UConn,
UConn,
6
like
OTs.
Yeah, the
6
OT,
OTs.
yeah.
Bro, nobody's topping that. That was crazy. So,
It's crazy. I
um,
watched that whole game. I remember that.
yes,
And then Kemba step back.
crazy,
Legendary.
crazy. But thanks for the questions from the crowd. This is the first time we've done that. So shout out to y'all.
Nah, I played against. Yeah, I played against. I'm talking about college. I played against. Oh yeah. Nah, not Gilchrist. You talking about? Durant Scott.
Yo, wait, pause. Let us. All right. Yo, see, this is why this was the first time we did the crowd questions, right?
We're going to work on the panel questions.
Nah, let me do this though.
Go ahead.
Nah, I played against Kemba more than once in high school. I remember in Hawaii, my first time in Hawaii. I was younger though. I didn't play as much. They won the whole tournament. Kemba was doing Kemba things, and I remember we played against him in the Federation. That's like the last weekend.
Up in
Basketball
Duns
season,
Falls.
and we
Up in Duns
lost.
Falls.
He cooked us.
Damn.
And now he about
Tough.
to sign for 220.
It be like that sometimes, though.
I know why he signed up for that.
Right. It be like that, but again,
Proud of you.
Yes, we're proud of you. We appreciate you coming
Appreciate
here.
you.
We wish you the best of luck.
Thank
You ever got anything coming up in your life that you want to share with the world? Excuse me. That you want to broadcast, that you want to come on here and just talk about something, even one of your teammates, whatever the case is, let us know. We'd love to bring you back. We'd love for you to come back to the platform. We appreciate your contributions. But really, we're going to close this out. You got anything else to add?
Nah, I'm good.
Nah. All right.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you for having me.
For sure.
course.
Again, I'm Patrick Odedina.
Brian Ford.
What's your name, sir?
Jabarie Hinds.
This is D1 Bound Podcast, Episode 5, Season 2. Thanks a lot. It's a wrap.